Okay, so we've been talking about space lately, right? Last week we talked about how the Earth moves and what happens because of the Earth's movement. And this week we've been focusing on the moon, right? So I think we are ready to take a second look at if you decide to go to the moon. Now our story today is by Faith McNulty and the illustrations are by Stephen Kellogg. Okay, so we chose if you decide to go to the moon because it had a lot of comparisons between the Earth and the moon. And in our first week of the unit study, we were really focusing on the Earth and the Earth's movement. So it was bringing them into the discussion about the moon. So it was getting that discussion started for them and seeing the differences between the Earth and the moon and how they are also related as well.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off!
I'm wondering why the author chose to write the text this way. Why did he choose to write the text this way? Turn to your carpet partner. Moon, right there below you. You look down on an endless desert. Everything is all one color, silvery gray. The ground is covered with rocks and round craters. Craters are holes made by meteors that have rained down on the moon through the ages. Some were huge and made deep holes hundreds of miles across. Of course, you steer clear of the rocky places. Okay, as we look at the illustration here and the illustration in the moon book, remember when we read the moon book? It had a close-up view of the moon as well. How can we compare? How can we compare these two views of the moon? How do they compare? How are they the same, you say? Colton, do you see something else that might be similar?
They both have craters.
They both have craters. How is a crater made? How's a crater made, Kinsey? By asteroids or meteors. And what did they do? They used a vocabulary word.
Collision.
They had a collision with the moon, right? Caleb, haven't heard from you. Okay, they both are of the moon. Can you find another similarity between them? Their color is the same. They have craters. First word, the moon. And this is written by D.G. Chelsea. That's the author of this story. Now, our focus question for this book is how does the moon look different over time? This entire book talks about how the moon changes over time. So that's why it's our focus question. All right, let's get going. Finger under the first word. Read with me. Ready? Begin. The moon looks different over time. The changes happen in a cycle. What's a cycle? Oh, good. I love that you did the motion. What's a cycle?
Something that happens over and over.
Something that happens over and over and over again. What are some other cycles we've learned about in class?
A cycle.
The Earth has a cycle that it goes in to cause our day and night and our seasons. Yeah, you're exactly right.
The difference over time. The cycle.
Let's look at that word and look at this word. Do you think that word is cycle? No? What does the CH say? We talked about diagram. So what's happening here that could be ch?
Changes happen in a cycle.
Great. Could you point to the full moon on that page for me? Great. So our book today is called Introducing Planet Earth. So let's take a look at it. Today we're going to choral read part of it. So we're going to read part of it together, and then I'm going to let you partner read some parts of it as well, okay? So put your finger under the first word in the title. Ready? Go. Introducing Planet Earth. And there we see our planet Earth. It's written by Celeste Frazier. Let's take a look. What does the Earth mean by saying it supports life? What does it mean? It has life on the planet. And what makes it possible for it to have life on the planet?
Plants to give us air.
Plants that give us air.
Oxygen.
Yep, oxygen, which connects to what Colton was saying. Anything else that helps with giving life? Go ahead, shout it out.
Water. Trees.
Water.
Trees.
Trees. That has wind. All right, let's keep reading and see if he adds anything else. Okay, guys, we're going to move into shared reading, and our interactive read aloud today really connects to our shared reading today because we have to use the information from our interactive read aloud to help us answer our task in shared reading, okay? I can describe how the moon seems to change.
So one of the beauties about using a lot of text around the concept is that we can really help students enact those ELA standards in really purposeful and meaningful ways as they're drawing meaning from the text in order to build towards those enduring understandings.
Just the right size. Why would this phase of the moon be described as just the right size? What do you think, Landon?
It's a crescent.
It is a crescent, so why would that be just the right size for Papa?
Because it's the smallest piece of the moon, and so we can carry it.
It's the smallest piece of the moon that we see, so he could carry it. Now, I have a question for you. Is this story fiction or nonfiction?
Fiction.
Okay, we know it's fiction because... What do you think, Logan?
The moon can't get smaller because the other side it would still be super big, but the other side but even though we see a little bit of the moon and we would actually have the moon.
Did you hear what he said? He said this is fiction because the moon doesn't actually get smaller. He said we just don't see the other side. So the whole moon is there. So when Papa goes and grabs this right here, that's fiction because he would actually be grabbing a full moon or a whole moon instead of just a tiny crescent because the moon doesn't actually get smaller. So today, your task is going to be in your astronomer's log. Nice here. You have to write a short note to Monica, and your dear Monica's already there, explaining that the moon only seems to change, that it doesn't really change. You're going to have to explain that to her because she's confused in our story, isn't she? She's thinking the moon is getting smaller, the moon is getting bigger, but that's not really what's happening. So we've got to clear up her misconception. We've got to help her understand that the moon only seems to change.
So our end of unit task is based on observable patterns in the universe. So this daily task was really designed to support students as they think about the phases of the moon, which is one of those observable patterns.
The earth goes around the sun. So the earth goes around the sun. What's
Okay, so that's our offer of free today. But before we get started today, I want to talk about you're exactly right. So what is your next sentence going to be? Okay, I like that. Good job. I like what you.
So the unit design framework that's outlined in Teaching Literacy in Tennessee is really a way for us to support students in building schema while they're also building proficiency as readers and writers.
You need some great music. Music it is with Murachas.